Okay, fueling up over here in Woodland. I think it's about 11. Got some dinner. I like boiled eggs for some reason. Probably about half hour or so from Portland. So I think I'm making good time, man. It just feels like I am. I'm not rushing or anything, but like I said, I thought I'd be sleepy, and I'm not. Really restless. Alright. Okay. Finally made it to Oregon. It's a little before midnight. Still December 11th. And already passed through Portland. Beautiful city at night. Usually I'm going through in the daytime and the traffic is horrible. But there wasn't any traffic because, you know, it's late at night. Portland's been having problems ever since the George Floyd thing, civil unrest, and, you know, just from what I gather from turning on the news every blue moon. I wanted to talk about something, and, you know, I'm going to keep on this leaving Seattle thing, by the way. I'm about 6 hours from Redding, and that's where I think I'm going to finally get a hotel. And it should be about 6 in the morning. So I'm going to slow down, actually, because you can't check in until like 11 or 12 anyway. So on my Happy Thanksgiving video, I mentioned, you know, marijuana. I smoked marijuana one time while I was up there in the Seattle area this time around, and it was a fucking horrible experience. I knew a guy named Jeffrey a long time ago, and for those of you that know me, I'm not talking about my ex-roommate Jeff. It's someone totally different. And this guy used to go to Grateful Dead concerts, and the Grateful Dead started in the 60s, and Jerry Garcia passed away, I think, in 94. Now there's this band called Phish, P-H-I-S-H, Phish. And a lot of the people that were into the psychedelics, when Jerry Garcia passed away, Phish kind of started supposedly to take over the psychedelic crowd, except for Jeffrey. You know, he went to Grateful Dead concerts, he also went to Phish concerts. And the 90s, I heard someone say that the 90s were the 60s upside down. The psychedelics came back, but there was a lot of angst, you know? And I think in the 60s there was still hope that peace and love and flower power, that could work. And by the time the 60s or the 90s came around, there was a lot of fighting, from what Jeffrey said, in the parking lots. And, you know, some of these pot smokers want to believe that they're still this flower power, peaceful, kind of eclectic group. And maybe some of them are. But another example of this is 69 Woodstock versus 99 Woodstock. There was actually a 94 Woodstock, which went pretty well, but by the time we got to 99 Woodstock, it's the same thing. Fire, destruction, corporate greed, angst. And I came here remembering 97, and it seemed to be a peaceful vibe, and I was around college students, and we were interns. And when I was going to college in the mid-90s, there was a lot of hippies. You know, you'd go to someone's dorm and there'd be a bong on their table, and you'd study calculus. And the hopes still seem to be there, at least in the college area. You know, people would get stoned and then think of ways to improve the world, you know? And that seemed to be the vibe. But this place where I was at, I had roommates, and the pot wasn't a issue hardly for the first few months. But as time went on, you know, they were doing it a lot more often, and instead of hiding it, they were doing it in the living room. And by the time Thanksgiving rolled around, I came home from work because I had to work that day. And I was, you know, there's stairs that go up, stairs that go down, and I could smell it from the fucking bottom downstairs, you know. It was that fucking strong. But these guys are the fish crowd, in my opinion, as far as a lot of angst, and they're not going to give you a flower. They're gonna, it's gonna jar something in their psyche, and then their problems are going to be your problems. So that's a commentary. It's just a nutshell commentary. I'm going to go to California, see my family, and I do gut checks and, you know, reevaluate life every now and then. Vegas seems to be the leading candidate to where I'll go after I visit my family. So there's going to be more clips leaving Seattle, all right? And this is just me talking, guys. Thanks. That was a decent rest stop. The ones in Washington, the bathrooms are a little better kept, but it's not that bad. Okay, there's the street up ahead. See cars passing, you can hear them passing. Whenever I need to go to China Panda or Rite Aid, that's the street I take. All right. Probably be having some more commentary, I think, as days go on, and, you know, maybe a little reflecting. But this thing right here, this is what I meant. You know, this is one of the reasons I came out here, you know. Wind up, you know, living too much of a pattern of, you know, when I was in California. So this is nice. And I don't need a cross. I don't need a cross. But it'll make all the traffic stop. You know, if I go up there and press the button, I guess. I've had to do that before. Stop, you know, for the pedestrians. No, this is good. This is good. All right. All right, my roommate's moving out. I think he might be drunk right now. He's usually sober. When I first moved in, he's going to AA meetings. He's moving out at the end of the month. I keep my toilet paper in a box near the door because he wouldn't buy his own toilet paper. I have a case of toilet paper I had from a prior job. And that trash can I showed you, that's 100% his. It's been there for weeks. I don't throw my trash in there anymore. This is where I play video games. I like this painting. It's called The Scream. I gotta go to work right now. Gotta be there by 1 o'clock, but I'm gonna take off right now. Usually it's 15-hour days on Friday, and it's Friday. Okay, it's November 9th. The guy that has lived here, right there, he's moving to Texas. He's moving to Texas. Cowboys play. They've come to pick up his pod See that pod right there? So it costs about $2,300 to have it shipped to Texas from, you know, here in the Seattle area. So I moved here almost a year ago. It was December 19th. Let's go out here on the porch. Yeah, so I guess he's moving. I saw him earlier, but I helped him move a dresser to that pod. I didn't know he's moving today, but I'm not sure he is. I mean, maybe I see him tomorrow because he's driving separate, you know, than the pod. So that's that. Okay, visibility is not going to be horrible. I still have a couple of small containers, but that's not going to affect it a whole lot. I'm going to be able to see, you know, cars on the left, the rear, the right. So, almost ready, man.